The concept of a user interface is to give the user a way to interact with the graphical source code. A user interface should be both functional and elegant. The user interface in LabVIEW is the front panel. You can receive inputs from devices, a file, or directly from a control, and you can display outputs like graphs, LEDs, charts, or write them to a file. Good user interfaces will be both elegant and functional. Let's take a look at this user interface and pay particular attention to the usage of switches, slide controls, numeric controls, dials, and a number of different indicators, such as a thermometer indicator and several different graphs. This is a good example of using functional yet elegant block diagram and front panel elements to make a user interface that's both easy to understand and easy to use. When designing a user interface, we first need to think about controls and indicators. When choosing controls and indicators, make sure that they are appropriate for the task you want to perform. For example, when you want to determine the frequency of a sine wave, choose a dial control. Or when you want to display temperature, choose a thermometer indicator. Let's go ahead and open a blank VI. Right-click to pull up the controls palette and pin it to the workspace. Navigate to the numeric subpalette and drag and drop a thermometer control onto your front panel. This will help us to demonstrate the proper usage of labels and captions. You should make sure to label controls and indicators clearly. These labels help users identify the purpose of each control and indicator. Also, clear labeling helps you document your code on the block diagram. Control and indicator labels corresponding to the names of terminals appear on the block diagram. Captions will help you describe a front panel control. Captions do not appear on the block diagram. Using captions allow you to document the user interface without cluttering the block diagram with additional text. Let's modify the captions and labels of this thermometer control. By default, only the label is visible, as you see here. Right-click the thermometer control and select Properties. In the Properties dialog box, put a check in the visible checkbox in the Caption section of the Appearance tab. Type Indoor Temperature in the Caption text box. This is a descriptive caption that's probably too long for the block diagram. Hence, we'll use it in the Caption section. Under the Label section, let's shorten it from thermometer to THERM. Select OK to save and exit. Notice that the caption now appears on the front panel above the indicator. Switch to the block diagram by pressing Ctrl E. On the block diagram, we only have the label. There are many options available for controls and indicators on your front panel. Press Ctrl E to go back to your front panel, and right-click on the thermometer indicator. This will bring up the shortcut menu. Let's just browse some of the available options and submenus. Let's go ahead and put a numeric control on our front panel by going back to our controls palette and dragging and dropping a numeric control. Right-click the control and go to the Properties menu. This will open the Numeric Properties dialog box. Under Caption, select Visible. Type in Indoor Temperature Control. Under Label, uncheck the Visible checkbox. Select OK to save and exit. Let's go ahead and enter a value, say 72 degrees. If we want to make this the default value, simply right-click on the control and go to Data Operations. Select Make Current Value Default. Now 72 will always be the default value of this control. Because we have a good caption for our thermometer, let's get rid of the label. All we need to do is right-click and under Visible Items, uncheck Label.